Hello, my name is Jerry Mattix. I'm a Christian author and pastor of a congregation here in the Middle East. In Turkish, my pen name is Can Nuroğlu, as I've written many books in Turkish. Recently, however, on my way back into Turkey to do humanitarian work in the earthquake area in Antioch, I was expelled, I was deported. I was told that I had received an N82 code, which means that I am no longer welcome to Turkey. This was as surprising to me as it was to the police officials who were attending me, because they know very well that I'm coming and going to Turkey these last 2 years to help in the humanitarian relief work after the devastating earthquake that shook about 10 provinces in Turkey on the 6th of February 2023. I've been making trips regularly to the province of Hatay, the region of Antioch, to collaborate with local Christians and believers and making tiny houses for local people. Over the last 2 years, we've been able to build close to 1,000 tiny houses for families that are in need. And we've done this largely for Muslim families. We refuse to discriminate based on people's race or religion. Whoever is in greatest need, we try to help them in whatever way we can. Consequently, it's a great shock to myself and others that after serving the people of Turkey, I would be banned in this way and then deported from the country. This is especially perplexing because 9 years ago, I won a court case in Turkey for very similar reasons. My wife and I moved to Turkey in 2001, where we had our 3 children. In fact, our eldest daughter now is married to a Turkish gentleman. And we love the country of Turkey. We served the country of Turkey up until 2013, when I was coded with a G82 code, in which I was deemed a threat to national security. And they also claimed that I had been working illegally in the church. And this is very simply because I was serving in that church as on a volunteer basis, serving as one of the assistant pastors. Needless to say, over a period of 3 years, I pursued this in court and I won my court case. I was acquitted and allowed to enter back into Turkey. And since 2016, I have been coming and going to Turkey freely, serving the Christian community there. And as I noted, in the last 2 years, I've especially been focusing my energy with the local believers there in Antioch to help people who were greatly and deeply affected by the devastating earthquake of February 6th in 2023. So since I'm there to serve the Turkish people, and since I was already acquitted in a Turkish court 9 years ago, why is it now that I'm being banned again and deported once more? There are many reasons for this, and one of them is the fact that the Turkish government has been deporting a lot of Christian workers like myself over the last years. Since 2019, about 140 people have been coded, and these are people who are serving in the country, who are often there on a permanent basis legally. They have families and children in the country and homes, and suddenly they find out that they are coded and must leave the country. And for them, obviously, it's a very traumatic experience. In my case, when it comes to this second expulsion, it's a little bit of a mystery why I was kicked out, because I already won my court case in a Turkish court. I was acquitted. There shouldn't be any reason why I should be, again, having to go through this. I think one of the main reasons is because in Turkey, there's this general idea that Christian workers are missionaries, they're CIA agents. They're out there to undermine the government and to convince people to become Christians by paying them money. And of course, this is nonsense. We as Christians naturally have every right to share our faith, and we are living and serving in a country that otherwise is known to be a democratic republic, a nation that has embraced secularism, in which we have every right by the Constitution to share our faith, to meet openly in Christian meetings and gatherings, which are being done all over the country. And yet, in the popular mentality, folks like myself that are foreigners living in the country of Turkey are often treated as missionaries, as agents, when the reality is we're doing only what you would expect a Christian to do, and that's share his faith. And similarly, Muslims that go to Europe and live there, they share their faith. In fact, Turkish government often sends imams to European countries to do just that. Outside of that, I really don't understand why I would be kicked out of the country when I'm there serving the Turkish people. We are helping people who have suffered greatly from the devastation of the earthquake. So why a country would not allow someone who is doing humanitarian work to serve their own people is quite a mystery. But this brings me to the reason why I'm making this video. I'm really concerned that if this pattern continues as it has been developing over the last few years, that many other Christian workers and even local Christians are going to suffer from pressure just because of the fact they are Christians. In fact, there's been a number of families in which one of the spouses is a Turk and one is a Christian, and when the foreigner is expelled, it really divides the family. It's really quite tragic, and there's many cases like this. Several of these cases have been heard at the Supreme Court level in Turkey. Some have gone as far as a European European Court of Human Rights. And yet still, this pattern continues to develop. And this is a harmful pattern, I believe, for the country of Turkey, which is a great country, which is a country that's loved by many and has a rich history and has much to offer the world. It's especially harmful for human rights in the country and for the Christian minority that continues to live under this situation. I'm not advocating economic or political sanctions on the country of Turkey. That would only devastate it further. In fact, they've suffered plenty from that. What I'm advocating is diplomatic pressure. I'm hoping that by raising awareness on this issue, we can encourage the powers that be to come together and have a common understanding of what it means to allow people from different faiths to coexist, to share their faith openly, and to support one another without feeling threatened by people from different faiths or different cultures. The fact is that I love Turkey very much. I've dedicated the majority of my life to serving the people in Turkey, to sharing my faith with them, to helping them in their time of need. I've helped in now 3 different earthquakes that have racked the country over the last 24 years that I have lived there. My hope and prayer is that I can continue to foster these lovely relationships and friendships that I have with so many in Turkey. And we continue to pray for this country, continue to pray that it will prosper, that it will be a peaceful country that welcomes all who come to it, and that Christians, as well as many other minorities who live in this country, will be able to coexist in peaceful harmony.